Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Fanny back with another video, and today we are going to be going over Season 15 Apex Legends tier list. Now, we did not see any changes in the patch notes. Now, this is going to be right off rip of the beginning of Season 15. So since they did no changes, you'll probably be seeing a lot of familiar legends at the top, but we are going to be going over what I think is going to be played at high tier ranked or just ranked games in general, and what I think is going to be seen in competitive at a high level when it comes to Pro League or Challengers on for ALGS. If you are enjoying this type of video, please make sure you leave a like and comment down if you agree or disagree on any of these legends, why or why not. This is going to be specifically probably talking about the new map Broken Moon, and so I'm going to be talking a lot about that and thinking of the terrain and using that as kind of like an assessment to how I think these legends will play out, and just based off of my own gameplay when playing in ranked. So let's get started. First and foremost, I think you kind of have to put the first legend that is probably the best legend in the game. I'm going to put Seer. I guess I don't really have much to say about Seer other than very oppressive, very strong, the best recon legend, the best character in the game. Just everything about his kit is very, very strong. Same thing goes with Horizon, which is going to be the second pick. Horizon is... a bad Horizon can be a good Horizon, which is the craziest thing. This character utilizes the tactical to be able to take height from a team, even whenever they're on the best spot and they should have advantage in fight. Takes away that advantage, or at least gives them opportunity to be able to take away that advantage. Oppressive with the ult, able to win a team fight just based off of that alone. Just a very overall strong legend. Definitely going to be seeing both of these in the Pro League for sure, and 100% in your ranked games. Next, the last pick that I think is going to be in S tier, I'm going to throw in Valk. I think Valk is very, very strong. Definitely still is usable a lot even after the nerfs from last season. Not going to be a big deal. I will say in ranked, she's not as utilized due to the way ranked works. You're seeing like only 6 people left after ring 1, even at a high level in rank. So not having to not really needing to utilize her ultimate. But in Pro League, whenever there's 17 teams left, at the end of ring 3 going into ring 4, you'll need you'll need to be able to utilize her and kind of see how her ultimate is utilized. But her tactical and her passive alone to make her an S tier, mainly her passive. That pretty much does it with S tier. So let's move on to A tier. I will throw in Bloodhound. I think Bloodhound's probably the next best for A tier, probably at the beginning, due to just how strong scan is in this game. And so Bloodhound utilizing the ultimate, I'd be able to get the scans. Nothing's really changed with Bloodhound since the beginning. Once he got that buff, like I think season 4 or 5, made Bloodhound super strong. So I'll throw in Bang at A. I think Bang is strong, especially on the new map, Broken Moon, due to how open everything is. So being able to block line of sight, being able to smoke down your teammates, makes her a very strong pick for this map and other maps just in general. Anytime you're going to have a smoke and be able to make sure that the other team can't shoot you, can't see you, you're going to be able to see her being played pretty much the whole time. So it won't probably, I doubt, being played. Actually, you'll see it in comp. I think Luminosity runs them, so runs Bangalore. So I think Bang's gonna be used. I think I'm gonna throw Gibby in at A. If you're looking at fortified legends, I think Gibby's probably plays the best on the new map. Shoot, I even played some ranked with Gibby, and I noticed that he's really strong, especially if you can make the late game without ulti, and being able to utilize the bubble. Makes for a great pick, just not super utilized at the current moment. My surprise pick, probably for most people, I'm going to throw in Vantage at A. Since there is such long lines of sight, it kind of offers a lot of versatility when it comes to your play style. You can play passive, you can play aggressive with her. hopefully a rise in gameplay. If you are trying to figure out a new legend, make sure that you try out Vantage, because I think Vantage is a sneaky A tier pick, specifically for this rank split. So next is going to be Ashe, and I think Ashe is a sneaky pick, kind of like Vantage, where not a lot of people be using Ashe. I don't think. I think her micro rotations are really strong on this map. Being able to utilize take height very quickly and instantly 3-man taking, a little bit different than that of Horizon, but I think those two actually pair really well together. I'm having a hard time throwing, like, I think Pathfinder is also at the low tier A, maybe a high tier B or just regular B. I think Pathfinder is super fun. I think there's a lot of creative freedom with him, especially on this map where, once again, I say there's verticality and there's long lines of sight. And so being able to utilize the zip lines to kind of push a team or run away from a team or get height or get a power position or whatever it is, he kind of offers that, similar to that of Ashe, but maybe a little bit different in that you can kind of play an off angle if you are in a fight. And so being able to do that and then be able to grapple away, I think reminds me a lot of early Kings Canyon when it comes to Pathfinder. Next is going to be Newcastle. I almost put him in B, but realistically, I think you got to throw him in A, like lowest low A. Not that he's a bad legend, but I think if you're going to, once again, choose between a fortified legend or a defensive legend, I think you got to throw in Gibby. But I think somebody that knows how to utilize Newcastle can make him into a top tier pick if they know how to, once again, utilize the abilities, just because of how strong he is. That being said, I think he's a little bit weaker on this map, like I had mentioned earlier, or I hope I did. If not, I edited it out, my bad. But here, I'll just go over it. But Newcastle basically is not going to be utilized as much on the new map due to how much cover there is in between POIs and in between other, like, safe spaces. Like, there is a lot of cover being used, so therefore you don't need to have Newcastle as much, because that's what Newcastle is most utilized in, is being able to find open spaces and then create cover, and then that becomes the power position. That's kind of how Newcastle is supposed to be played. Obviously, defensively, you can play aggressive with him with a tactical and ultimate combo. With Seer in the meta, it's just hard to kind of use Newcastle at a high level right now. All right, so to begin B tier, I think I'm going to throw in Wattson. I think Watson's going to be strong in, if you're going to use a comp that is more so centered around like holding a position and holding zone. Watson's good at that. That being said, I don't know how much you'll see in ranked of Wattson unless they're a Wattson main, and then if that's the case, they'll probably be really good with Wattson, so be careful. That being said, on top of that, Wattson's just not super strong in the way ranked is, because it's very aggressive and you have to get kills, and Watson's not the greatest at fighting, just because she doesn't have any abilities that really utilize fighting, just holding down positions. So I'm going to throw in beats here, but I think you'll probably see Wattson being played in ranked, in competitive, for the teams that will be playing very passive and playing more zone heavy strategy wise. So I got to throw Wattson in at B, not quite A tier. Next, I'll throw in Wraith, mainly because of ranked. I don't think you're going to see her being used in comp, but I think Wraith is not a bad legend. I just don't think she is super strong the way that she used to be. She's still a fun character to play. Pubs, absolutely. But ranked, it's kind of like more of a niche pick. There's just other legends that do things way better, like Ashe. I'll throw in Lifeline at B. I don't know quite where to place Lifeline. It's kind of a hard one in my opinion. Just because very hard counter to Seer, pretty much the only hard counter to Seer. But is it worth running Lifeline in your matches just to counter only one character? That being said, Seer is very strong. That being said, good Lifeline players know how to counter Seer, and so I mean, if you know how to use her, then go ahead. Pretty much the main reason why she's in B or not in C or D is simply because how busted Seer is, and so you have to have a hard counter. I'll throw Caustic in at B, probably low tier B. Not that he's a bad legend if you know how to utilize him, but it's more so you have to make it to late game in order for Caustic to kind of shine and just be busted. And a lot of times in ranked, you're not making it to late game. And if you are, it's going to be like 2 or 3 teams. So no one's playing like heavy zone. And so it doesn't even matter. Realistically, I don't think you're going to see a lot of Caustic being used unless it's somebody that's kind of has the mindset of playing more zone with Caustic. But I don't think you're going to see a lot of ranked Caustic just because of how ranked plays out right now. I'll throw crypto in at B for pretty much everybody that's not NA that runs crypto, because I know a lot of regions do that are not NA. I think crypto is like not the most necessarily fun legend to play unless you're, I feel like it's just like a certain personality type that likes running and playing crypto. But very good at being that utilizing of playing zone, knowing where zone is and kind of where to rotate. Just a very strong passive legend. I know that sounds really silly, but he's very good at just getting info. So because of that, I'm going to have to put him in B, because once again, how ranked is being played is just ape, fight, and then go play zone. I'll throw Fuse in. Very strong, very offensive, able to kind of be annoying, like a very rat. Like, I don't know how to explain Fuse's playstyle other than just like so frustrating to go against a good Fuse. Being able to throw nades, use the tactical as well. The ultimate's so oppressive if you're not able to get out of it. It's just so annoying to go against Fuse. Probably going to be seeing more in ranked. I don't know how he fits into the meta right now when it comes to competitive, but I think he's more so a hyper aggressive legend that you can see if they make it to late game in a pro league. They'll do so much damage and grief so many teams. So C tier, I'll throw in Loba at C, mainly for the ranking in mind. I think competitively she'll be used on Stormpoint because of how the POIs work in that. We've already seen Team Liquid use it and stuff like that. So pro teams do use Loba. Teams that land at center POIs and they utilize the ultimate and then they rotate to zone, either first or second zone. She's strong for teams that are wanting to third party really quick. I think you can utilize having a Loba for ranked play. Just land at your POI if you know that there's 2 teams fighting off. Drop, utilize, get the ultimate down, get all their stuff, juice, hit the zip line, go kill. Boom. That's it. Go Mad Maggie next. I think Mad Maggie's good. But I think she's good in certain scenarios. She's a fun legend to play due to the passive of having a shotgun. A good Mad Maggie can utilize her ultimate and throw down the little ball and just like ruin a whole team fight and absolutely destroy you. So be careful whenever you're in a building and going against that Mad Maggie. I'll throw in Octane at C due to there's just other legends that do things better than what he does. Unfortunately, him and Rev are going to go in C tier together because they are the biggest combo. I think you could pair Revenant with like Ashe or Horizon or something, but Rev's just kind of like very hard to utilize and takes a lot of coordination, and that's hard to do in ranked unless you have a 3-man squad, and even then that's very difficult to do. So a lot of times you see these two paired together because it's kind of simple. I don't think these two will be seen that much. It's kind of a troll pick, and yeah, that's basically all I have for this too. Lastly, I'll throw in Rampart. Not that she's a bad legend. Once again, she kind of counters Horizon, but you'll see her like Rampart being used more so in pro play than you would see in ranked. You have to be able to play zone very early and get a really solid spot to actually utilize Rampart really well. You probably won't see her in ranked because she's very niche and takes a very special player to know how to set up and knows the game really well to be able to utilize her. Like all these legends are usable like at a pretty high level. I'm not gonna unfortunately Mirage is in D tier. Like you can hate on me if you want, but he just not good. You can say he counters here, but he definitely doesn't. Mirage is just kind of like the ultimate troll, man. Just not great. Now, pretty much all I have for Mirage. I'm sorry. I'll have to edit this in, but I think Catalyst specifically is probably going to be in between B and C tier. I think usable, more than likely going to end up being in C tier until she gets some changes. She's kind of underwhelming at the current moment, even at a high level. I think you can play hyper aggressive with her, but unless you have to be able to know how to use her ultimate well, and even then I think there's just other legends that can do it better when it comes to breaching into a building or breaching into or going into a fight with somebody in the open area. I do think she does capitalize well on open area space. So being able to do that and pairing that with other legends, we'll have to see how she ends up going. But I think for right now, she's got to stay in the CB area. I'll probably place her in B, but I think she's probably more so C. But we'll have to see with more time going on. Thank you guys so much for listening, and hopefully you got something out of this, whether you agree or disagree. I'd love to hear it down in the comments. And once again, if you guys did enjoy the video, please make sure you guys go down and hit a like button, and helps a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys in another video. Deuces.